Calaroga Shark Media.
All right, bonus episode. The headline, Late Show with Stephen Colbert is coming to an end, but let's just catch our breath and catch up here. So it's around 8 o'clock Thursday night. I'm minding my own business. I'm watching the season premiere of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which was really good, by the way. And it's just been a fascinating day. Yeah, let's do the Colbert story, and then I'll catch you up on everything else that's been going on. Thanks to Mike, who stuck this in the Facebook group where I probably wouldn't have seen it until tomorrow morning. The news, in a shocking move, reports CNN. CBS is ending The Late Show with Stephen Colbert next year and probably getting out of late night altogether. The cancellation takes effect May 2026 at the end of the normal broadcast TV season. Industry experts are raising an eyebrow because The Late Show is typically the highest rated show in late night. CBS, in a statement, said, quote, "This is purely a financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. Is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount." Colbert shared the news during Thursday evening's taping, so if you happen to catch this episode Thursday night, I guess watch Colbert tonight at 11:30. Stephen said, "Next year will be our last season." There were audible boos heard in the studio audience. "The network will be ending our show in May. It's the end of The Late Show on CBS. This is all just going away." Colbert said he found out about the decision Wednesday night and said, "I do want to say the folks at CBS have been great partners. I'm so grateful to the Tiffany Network for giving me this chair and this beautiful theater to call home. And I'm, of course, grateful to you, the audience, who have joined us every night in here, out there, and around the world." Colbert took over for Letterman in 2015 and said, "I wish somebody else was getting it after Colbert." Now, of note, on Monday's show, when Colbert returned from vacation, he condemned the Paramount settlement. They had settled a lawsuit with the president. Colbert likened it to a big fat bribe. I mean, very, very interesting. Colbert has been a frequent critic of the current administration. People will also now have their eyes on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. There had been speculation that The Daily Show could be canceled or Jon Stewart axed as part of this whole Paramount-CBS negotiation thing. A lot of money going around, so we'll see how this develops. All right, just to catch you up, transparency. It's the summer, and on Friday, I want to go to the beach because I can't go to the beach this weekend. So I was like, all right, I'll tape Friday and Saturday. So my normal pattern, I usually do this. I don't do this 7 days a week. I try and do it 4. So on Wednesday, I recorded Thursday's show, and I recorded Sunday's show. And then I do Friday, Saturday, back-to-back, and sometimes Friday, Saturday, Monday. Also, industry-wise, usually industry news, the kind of news that makes the trades, drops by 10 a.m. Eastern. Like if you're going to put something in the Hollywood Reporter or Variety, one of those, it's by 10 a.m. Eastern. Also, rule of thumb, you don't release news on a Friday. You definitely don't release good news on a Friday, and you don't do that in the summer because people take beach days. You do sometimes release bad news on a summer Friday. Say you're canceling your late night franchise. That's something you might want to put out on a summer Friday. So I did my normal, noon-ish recording session today and banged out a bunch of episodes, and I was editing them. Variety, frankly, annoyed the heck out of me. They announced a whole bunch of stuff. I'll tell you what the stuff is. I'm not going to do it now. I'll probably do it on Tuesday because, again, transparently, I just opened up the Variety to tell you what the articles are, and I see, right, top story, Colbert canceled. Let's see what Variety's doing this. I'm doing a very casual episode here, as you can tell. This article says there's been growing speculation that both Colbert and Jon Stewart each could be under growing scrutiny from the executives at Skydance Media, which is slated to acquire Paramount Global, the parent of both CBS and Comedy Central. And I'll editorialize, the people that have ruined Star Trek. Although the season premiere was pretty good, it was the first good episode of Star Trek in quite some time, but that's not why you're here, so I won't go on a Star Trek rant. Anyway, the other stories that dropped today already knocked off the front page of Variety. Wow, that was quick. So they dropped all this. I know I'm all over the place. They dropped all this around 1:45, not working with a script. I'm just free-forming. And at 1:45, Variety released the Comedy Impact Report, subheader, How Conan O'Brien, Sarah Silverman, and The Daily Show news team set the tone for what's funny in 2025. I will get to that on Tuesday. So here's why. Like I said, I already taped the whole weekend, and it's to go in and redo it, there's a flow. Like I'm setting up, I'm being very transparent. I'm setting up some Adam Sandler jokes. There are callbacks. I have date-specific today at the Montreal Comedy Festival type segments. And to just go in and redo all that would just be a ton of work. So I figured, let me just do this very casual bonus episode. And again, I will get to the Comedy Impact Report on Tuesday, although I suspect this Colbert thing is going to be huge. Oh, by the way, and in the morning, listen to the Shane Gillis episode. Shane, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I thought the material, he crushed it. I thought the audience decided from the second he walked out that we're not going to laugh at this man. But the material was great. I digress. So Variety put out the Comedy Impact Report. They also put out the Variety 10 Comics to Watch. Now, the why that came out on a Thursday afternoon and not last Monday or maybe even next Monday, I don't know why. On the list, friend of the show, Gianmarco Ceresi. Real quick, also Mary Beth Barone, Mojo Brooks, Joe Dombrowski, Robbie Hoffman, Nate Jackson. Saw a write-up about Nate in the LA Times about 2 weeks ago. Morgan J, Gianmarco, Joe Yang Summers, Steph Tolev, interesting, and Takara Williams. All right, I'll get into that on Tuesday as well for reasons already discussed. Also, to annoy Johnny Mac, Variety put out today a big profile of Nikki Glaser under the headline Variety's Comedy Impact honoring Nikki Glaser on how stand-up saved her life. We all thought I was going to die. That will also go into Tuesday's show, maybe even Wednesday's show, because there is just a lot going on. So the upcoming episodes, they're all long. They're all meaty. You've heard me talk for several days about how much is going on. Even this bonus episode, I'm looking at the clock here. The raw recording is approaching the 10-minute mark as I babble. So it's not like I did filler all weekend. I was catching up all weekend. So you've got tomorrow Shane Gillis, and they've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I don't know if I have to do bonus episodes about this Colbert stuff, I will do bonus episodes about this Colbert stuff. But just wow, kind of shocking. Well, not really, given the current environment. I see Mike from the Letterman podcast just posted about this on his Facebook page. Maybe I should catch up with Mike. I mean, part of this is I'm planning on heading to the Montreal Comedy Festival, so I do need to work in advance and don't know where I'll find an hour to record with Mike. But let me see, because this is really big news. Wow. So, Mike, thank you for putting that in the Facebook group, or I might not have seen it till I probably would have been sitting on the beach going, oh, geez, why did they do this now when I'm not home? All right, that's a very casual, babbling bonus episode of Daily Comedy News. Back in the morning with Shane Gillis, and I'm not going to mention this at all. Oh, and just let me say, I know for a fact, because I did the late night jokes in the Saturday show, and I took a shot at Colbert for not having good monologues. So when you hear me take a shot at Colbert for not having good monologues, and I don't mention this story at all, that's why. See you in the morning.